before we get into the main topic, gentlemen, I want to know, because we're halfway through the season, I want to start off with some love. And I want to show some love by asking you guys a simple question. And I'm going to go to you first, out of league. Who is your mid-season MVP so far in pro wrestling?
So I'm going to go a little more niche, and this may be recency bias because the last episode I talked about being at AEW 300 and whatnot, but definitely someone that I've kept my eye on, and despite all the noise, right, and just seeing it for what it is, I'm going to say from a character building arc, from a story arc point of view, with the most consistency, I'm going to give a nod from my perspective. I'm not even saying he's the best. It's just my perspective.
Yeah.
To one Hangman Adam Page.
Nice.
And I'm gonna break it down why. He's probably the singular reason why I'm back into AEW more than I probably was even last year. That I even care to turn it on and keep up with it and whatnot.
For sure.
He is believable. He speaks from the heart. When he wrestles, it has some meaning, has some relevance to the rest of the show. And ultimately, he still represents those early pinnings of what AEW was supposed to be, right? This alternative, this, maybe not us against the world, but this more, realistic look at a pro wrestler who really is all heart and is fully into it. We're kind of past this violent version of him with the swerve matches and the burning down houses and whatnot.
Right.
And now we're back to, hey, what keeps me going, what gives me life is being on top, is the AEW championship. And seeing him now have this run or this big match with Moxley coming up, that kind of encapsulated everything that I think we always wanted to see out of him. And
definitely,
I don't know if it's a pullman. I don't know if it's just I'm tired of seeing Moxley with the same gimmick for months now, and maybe that's by design because it is designed for him to be disliked,
Right.
But he really kind of has leaned into that and just real smart. I think every time I hear his promos, they don't seem like the typical, point A to point B. I'm the baby face. I'm gonna beat you up, and
right.
They're more nuanced. There's a little bit more meat on the bones. There's a lot of there's been a lot of payoffs to past storylines. A lot of nods to past storylines, down to the idea, which I didn't fully like, this idea that I think Ospreay and Swerve are kind of taking a secondary position now to give him the spotlight. That felt a little bit inorganic and weird.
Right.
And it does feel like a means to an end. So I can see past that as long as they circle back to it.
Definitely.
But I think he's one, I would have said even an honorable mention might have been Ospreay, but just if we're looking at who the top person is, I'm gonna hand it to him because he's done some quality work, and every package, everything that's been done up to that, it's been quality stuff from my perspective.
I agree 100%. That promo that he cut in Mexico in full Spanish was like, it's like you're taking this serious. You're actually the baby face, and you're getting the people behind you, especially going into this weekend. Like damn near any and every wrestling fan is paying attention to maybe not the entire All In card, but definitely that main event. Yeah. Like it's a couple of those main events that are cooking, and that's definitely one of them. So I do like that pick. Greg, who is your mid-season MVP?
So mid-season, it's kind of like the All-Star game, right? So we got to pick somebody that you never know what's going to happen the rest of the season. Man, up until right now, really since Mania, how can you not pick Jacob Fatu? How can you not watch how quickly he transformed? Now, we all knew what he had, right? It's not like he's new to us. We knew MLW, we saw all that. But the fact that they've kind of taken those reins off of him, no pun intended.
Right.
The fact that they kind of they let him be that subservient person to Solo, to where all of a sudden it started changing, and he's taken it and he's just run with it. and he's won the crowd over because he's different.
Yep.
And he's genuine. Like, he comes across like straight up fact. I mean, he just real. He just comes across so natural and so real in a way of wrestling promos, which is what we talk about. Is not formulaic.
Yeah.
It's conversational, which
Very
is
organic,
the
very
new
authentic
way, right? And it's just like, how can you not look at him and go, that dude right there has changed the game in a short amount of time and won people over that you would have thought he would have won over.
Yeah. Yeah.
He doesn't have a mainstream look. He doesn't have a mainstream talk. Nothing about him is mainstream. But he's grabbing casuals, he's grabbing hardcores, he's grabbing everybody, and that's hard to do.
Hell yeah. Yeah. That's a good pick, man. I love Fatu. Even though he's caught a little heat recently from his little song and couple word usage, but it's like you said, man, very authentic. Is his character, it doesn't seem fake. It seems like that's him. If you walk up to Jacob Fatu, it really does seem like that's the character, that's a person that you're going to interact with. So that's a great pick as well. I like both of you all's picks for sure.
I want Jacob Fatu, so yeah, that's a solid pick for sure.
One other thing about Jacob Fatu, I think part of the reason he's so hot now is because of how they introduced him.
Yeah.
Because they didn't allow him to just go off.
Yeah.
They allowed him, they kind of kept him as that bit player and that, like I said, that subservient, I love you Solo. That's all he ever said. And it was just like, we're all sitting there like, oh, when this dude gets unleashed. And I mean, and the thing is, they've done it so well.
Yeah.
And I gotta give Solo credit, right? Solo's done a nice job for what he brings to the table.
He has.
And I mean, the two together, they're so different, but they play off each other so well. So I think one without the other, it just doesn't work as well. Man.
And Solo's grown from Jacob too, from that interaction.
I mean,
he's found his little pocket, his personality. But going back to what you said, for y'all Simpsons fans out there, there's a Simpsons episode where there's like gangsters and Homer's like waiting for this one little dude to do something. This is what reminds me of Jacob Fatu. He's like, "Come on, Marge, come on, let's go." He's like, "We gotta go, Homer."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Oh," and then off camera you hear, "Whoa!" He does like this crazy karate stuff. That's like Jacob Fatu's. Like they just kept them simmering, and I'm like, "All right, let's go, buddy." And I really didn't think they were gonna go full blast with him, but they have, and it's been a treat. It's been a real treat.
It really has.
Yeah. All right, but my pick, gentlemen, I'm glad that all three of us have different people because that's what makes conversations like this fire on all cylinders for me. My pick, it's got to be the ring general. It's got to be Gunther. Gunther has brought it in the ring by delivering some of the better matches in pro wrestling. That WrestleMania match with Jay was top notch. Then they upped the ante on the main event of that Monday Night Raw where he beat Jay with, like we've talked about it, last 5 to 8 minutes were nothing but holes. Like you don't get that in modern pro wrestling anymore. And I mean, he brought it with his match against Pat McAfee. People were actually invested in that. And the reason why I'm putting him as my MVP has been his promo game. The man has brought another authentic promo, intense in spots, and I just love his promo. I just love how he comes across as a character of, I'm going to not only speak down to my opponent, but I'm going to speak down to everyone in this crowd without it sounding too fake or rah-rah or scripted. Like he brings an authentic look as a champion, and if he carries, we haven't seen it yet, but if he carries Goldberg to a somewhat decent match this weekend, send him the MVP right now because the man has delivered gold. He's part of the reason why Jey Uso really, really got over the way he did, even though there was heat or people were behind Yeet. they really got behind it once it was Gunther pretty much saying, Yeet is stupid. You're a mascot. Like all of that. He was a perfect vehicle for Jay in this Yeet era or whatnot. So Gunther is definitely my mid-season MVP.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I mean, even the whole how he's transitioned. I mean, look at him now. He looks like this whole European, real well-to-do guy, but he's scary. He's a scary dude. It's like
Looks
he
like
looks
a
like a banker
champion,
who can
man.
beat you up.
Yeah, right. He looks like a champ, man. And
It's good. It's the whole package.
And like I said, if he gives a somewhat decent match with Goldberg, somewhat, I'm giving him all the credit in the world. Shout out to Gunther. But all three great picks, fellas. All three great picks. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and of course, look us up on socials at Suplex Dinner Club. And be sure to check out our other projects. We talk college football on Dogs versus All Y'all. That's a weekly college football podcast where we don't just talk about the Georgia Bulldogs, we talk about all things college football. The Life and Times Pod, which is short for the Life and Times of a Restaurant Lifer podcast, where I have some chill conversations with some cool and interesting people that I've met in my years in the hospitality industry. And of course, check out Talk 'em in the Building. That's a pro wrestling podcast where we solely focus on the promo. We talk about the talkers, we hype the hype man, and we pontificate on the promo. It's a fun project, and if you're a pro wrestling fan, I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. If you're into TV and movie reviews, check out Four Corners Cinema with Ari and Adrian, a podcast where two lifelong pro wrestling fans review film and other forms of media that just so happen to have some of our favorite pro wrestlers. The Suplex Dinner Club family is growing, and I would love for you to be a part of it.